Oh shit, we actually have one person joining as well. Actually, shit, let me add him real quick. Hello everybody, welcome to the VGZ podcast, episode number 14? Brennan here, and this evening I'm joined by the Atari 7600 version of Brightside.
That's the one that no one played, by the way.
Yes, yeah. The 32X version of Tea Time.
Hello.
The Virtual Boy edition of Zed.
Headaches.
And joining us, although I don't know whether or not he has his mic on here yet, the Atari Jaguar version of Rook.
Oh, Jaguar's the best.
So does that make you like the 64DD or something?
Yeah, I guess I'll give you the 64DD. Or it could be the Neo Geo Pocket Color. I like that one better.
Oh, man. What if you were the Panasonic CDI?
No, that's okay.
Be a good console.
I get to be a good...
What if I was the Sony Game Gear?
The Sega Game Gear?
Sega.
Yeah, Sega Game Gear actually wasn't that unsuccessful. Anyways, hello everybody. I'm happy you all are joining us here for our 14th episode of the VGZ podcast.
What's the console everyone forgot about, so I can be it?
I gave you one. Wait, did I not say chocolate?
Odyssey.
Oh, I thought I gave chocolate one.
No.
Jesus.
Oh, well, streaming for us tonight.
No.
Sorry, my bad.
Streaming for us today is the ever Sega Nomad.
Yes, Sega Nomad chocolate. Thank you, Brightside. I appreciate that.
If you want to get more obscure,
Gizmondo.
No, the Atari Lynx.
Oh, we can go with the Lynx, or we could go with.
Own a Lynx. No one owns a
Lynx.
Lynx.
Like a car boot sale.
I am so happy for you. Can you send it to me?
No, send it to me.
No, it's mine.
Anyways.
I think I'll just hold on to it.
Anyways.
Mine.
Anywho, thank you all for joining us, and I'm going to start off as we usually start off, and that is, of course, asking what everybody is playing or has been playing this previous week. And since I don't normally have Tea Time on, I think this is actually the first time we've had him on the new version of the podcast. Actually, I might be wrong about that. I think we've had him on one time previously. I will ask Tea Time, though, like what Tea Time has been playing recently. So, Tea Time, what sort have you been playing recently?
Breath of Fire 3 and Mountain Blade.
Cool. Those are both excellent choices. Mountain Dew Blade. Awesome. What about you there, Rook, since you haven't been on the podcast for a couple of weeks now?
I've been playing Brutal Doom, which is a lot of fun.
Cool.
It's just a mod for any of the WAD files that go into Doom, Doom 2, Wolfenstein 3D, Hexen, all those things.
Oh, anything on like Build 32?
Yeah, and it makes it a little more...
Brutal?
I won't say modern FPS-y because that has a negative connotation, but it gives it permanent mouse look, gives it headshots, gives it a couple other things to increase damage dealt, damage taken, replaces the pistol with an assault rifle, cool shit like that, reload animations.
Wow.
Yeah, it pretty much revamps Doom and makes it a lot more fun, in my opinion.
Say that word one more time.
Brutal Doom.
No, never mind.
Oh, what?
You said revamps. That was like
it revamps.
Yeah,
it revamps
that was
Doom entirely and makes it more fun, in my opinion.
So if you're joining recently, that is as part of the VGZ podcast's drinking game, a finish your drink moment. So go ahead and finish your drink, everybody.
In my opinion, is that the one?
Oh, God,
no.
You have to take a drink every time someone has an opinion on the podcast.
Oh my God!
Hang on.
They died 10 minutes later.
Why does everybody think I'm too loud? Because I probably am.
Well, you're not too loud to us, but you may be too loud to your outside audience because your microphone gets picked up on a different volume level.
I guess.
No, Rook, revamp. Revamp is a finish your drink moment for the VGZ podcast drinking game that I just invented now. So there. I didn't finish my drink though, so maybe I'm lying. Anyways, oh man, if you drank every time I got mad, you'd be dead. All right, Brightside, what have you been playing recently, sir?
I finally finished the main story of Dragon Age Origins, and I just finished most of the DLC for it. Now I've started Dragon Age Awakening. I want to try to complete all of it. So
fantastic.
That's mostly what I've been playing. I did start Sleeping Dogs, but I can't quite get into it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not in the mood for it. I can't put my finger on it.
Driving is wonky.
Yeah, the driving
I just
is.
travel everywhere on foot because you run fast enough, and the city's not that big.
Oh man, but with the motorcycle you get with the motorcycle that you get with the PS1 the PSN Plus pack is so good. Oh, it's so good. It runs so well.
Yeah, because the thing is, I have Sleeping Dogs on disc, but I went ahead and purchased the PSN version, so I got all that DLC, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll cancel your main game download here, and I'll just take your free shit. So that's I'll do that. That's fine. Yeah. So
it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, those are actually some pretty cool packs. If anyone out there with PSN Plus doesn't have Sleeping Dogs for whatever reason, it's a fantastic game. You really should.
Yeah, make sure you go at least redeem your download if you have Plus this month.
Yes.
Just so you get it. Even if you don't have any intent of playing it right now, trust me, you'll want to go back at some point. And Brightside, since you and me are mostly kind of collectors-ish, you picked up anything interesting this week?
Not really. I bought a few little odds and ends out at GameStop. Oh, that is one thing I meant to tell you. It's probably a couple weeks ago. We had extra copies, new copies of the Kirby collection. And one thing that GameStop does that's awesome is if we have too many new copies of a system that's like on its way out, they'll just be like, all right, just mark them used. So I picked up a sealed Kirby copy.
Are they? Oh my god, why didn't you tell me this when it happened?
Well, because it depends on the store. I mean, it really does.
I know, but
we've still got one.
How many did you have? Oh,
we had like.
Do you still have one at used?
I think we had two that were legitimately unopened.
Anyway, Yumi can carry that.
The last time I looked, we still had one.
Okay. Oh, well, Yumi can carry this conversation on later. It's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, now I've got a sealed Kirby collection.
Sweet. Right on. Yep. All right. Zed.
Yes.
What have you been playing recently?
Pleasantly surprised by Hitman Absolution, which is on PSN Plus in Europe. I expected it to be absolutely, shockingly unplayable, and it's not. Surprisingly, it's kind of playable. Like obviously it's not as good as Hitman proper, but I mean it's a really good little sort of stealth game if you don't take it too seriously.
Oh, okay, let me ask you this. Have you ever played Blood Money?
Yes.
Okay, how does it stack up against Blood Money?
Of course it doesn't. But it's...
Okay, well Blood Money was like my favorite one.
Blood Money is the best one.
Well, I kind of think of it as like Conviction is to Splinter Cell what Absolution is supposed to be to Hitman. And if you think of it like that, Absolution is about 3 million times better.
Is it supposed to be a revamp?
Everybody's
also Zed. Zed, how much was your paycheck from Idios this month?
Idio?
Yeah, exactly. Fantastic. Anything else you've been playing recently or not?
Gran Turismo 5. I picked that.
Really?
GT6 got announced.
Congratulations.
Well, I better get GT5s and.
GT6 will probably be the better one out of the two, which is the funny part.
Like you know what you're getting when you buy Gran Turismo. I'm still impressed that they still do seasonal events and stuff now. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. They really, I mean, their fan base. I mean, you got to think about it. The Grand Theft Auto fan base is a very particular fan base, and they're polyphony likes its people. I mean, it might be the most supported game post-release that I can think of. Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Impressive. Yeah. No, I've always loved Grand Theft Auto, but I think Grand Theft Auto 6 will probably be better than 5 just because 2 is better than 1 and 4 is better than 3. I feel like I should point this out because Venom's going to have a stroke. You're saying Grand Theft Auto instead of Gran Turismo. Oh, whatever. I know, but he's apparently going to have a stroke in chat. Oh, well, that's cool. Then I'll just kick him when he's dead. It's okay. Anyways, Chocolate.
Oh, hi.
What's going on with you, sir?
Playing Metroid Prime right now.
Right on.
Directly from his coffee can.
Yeah. I also have been playing Sleeping Dogs, but on the PC, because my friend got it as a late birthday gift, because he really liked it and he wanted me to try it.
So you stole it?
Yeah. But I finished that today actually, and I thought it was pretty damn good.
Congratulations.
It's neat. It's like a kung fu movie, but it's a video game.
Yeah, no, I've definitely enjoyed the time that I've spent with Sleeping Dogs. I do need to continue it because I've been slacking, but I definitely understand that. As for me,
I've been playing this Reyes casual game. I don't know. It's okay. That gotta go fast thing.
yeah,
And
that was
Fire Emblem.
cool.
Always
The Riz game looks really interesting. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up anytime soon. I'll probably wait for a Steam sale of some variety. Just because I have so many other games to play. As for me, I've re-picked up Super Mario Paper Mario Sticker Star.
Somebody digital work done.
That's what we're done.
We're actually doing construction on the house.
Oh,
Right now?
fantastic.
Well, yeah, actually.
At 8 o'clock at night.
I'm not kidding. That's the sound of a super
Circular
dangerous saw.
Yeah, it sounds like a
Put
circular
the
saw.
sword down.
super awesome. So
I'm not actually cutting it. It's my mom.
Right on.
This the entire family is just standing around with power tools blasting them in the mic.
yeah, God, what is it?
No, I've actually got my mic turned down and everything. That's through a door. That's like across the house through a door. It's that loud.
That's fantastic. Wow.
This
Let's see.
game that's been around on Greenlight. I think it's called Reprisal. It's kind of like popular. At some point, they decided they were going to let people get it for free, and Ray actually told me about it through Steam, so I picked that up, and I was waiting to finish Sleeping Dogs, so I'm going to be checking that out. I'll probably stream that at some point.
Cool.
Because I played it for about 5 minutes. I was like, yeah, this looks pretty damn neat. Looks like popular.
Awesome.
I like that.
And you should all get Collectomania available on Android now.
Oh, okay. Is it in the OS? Is it in the Blah store yet?
But no, it's not going to be on the iOS store.
No, not the iOS store. The
Play
Google.
Store. Yes.
Yeah, the Blah store.
I'll spell it out for you. There you go. Hang on.
The Blah.
You can
Yeah,
go,
that's-
just go
That's-
download that.
Zed is pimping out his product live on stream.
Yeah, I have no shame.
That was weird.
I don't
I know you don't
doubt
have
that.
shame, Zed. That's why you keep plugging IDEO stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Anywho, other than that, I actually repicked up No More Heroes 1.
Wow.
Oh, it's such a great game.
Because I just more recently got a copy of it for the first, my own copy for the first time. So I've been playing that a bit, and then today I actually stopped by a GameStop out in a little further away from my home base, and I picked up 3 Wii games. I picked up the Samurai Showdown and Metal Slug anthologies, and a copy of A Boy and His Blob.
That is an
Oh,
amazing
you
game.
found
Which
one.
I know
Have you
Zed was
played-
going to be happy about.
Have you played the Metal Slug anthology thing yet? Because I'm wondering if the load time is better than the PSP one.
Okay, let me go ahead and tell you this. The load time, because I've played both, okay, and I own the PSP one. The load time is better, but the controls are the worst thing in the world. You can only use the Wii remote and the nunchuck, and to throw a grenade, you have to shake the nunchuck. It is
Why would
the
they
worst
even put that
thing.
in?
Yeah, there's a noticeable delay on inputs too.
Why would they do that?
For the same reason Donkey Kong Country Returns decided you needed to jack off the controller to fucking roll. God,
Yeah, well, that's out in 3D now.
Yeah, I'm actually looking to pick up that, as well as in my
do I patch
Kathy.
3DS to fucking roll in that?
Anywho,
Also,
Play
Choco,
with
you're
the
apparently
slider.
still quite loud.
But it's only very
Anywho.
complaining, so I'm not sure how relevant that is.
I'll keep
Yeah, no,
turning
right.
down my sound input, I guess. Let me fuck with OBS.
Anywho, also, Kathy would kill me if I didn't say that she also picked me some stuff up, considering she's here,
A
sitting
pretty,
behind
pretty
me.
bow for your hair.
She did get me, which I already have, a copy of Sonic 2 and Mortal Kombat 2 for the Genesis, which are just repeats. But she did get me a copy of Tenjin Pac-Man, the bootleg, not the original,
Wow.
not the Grey Cart. copy of Rad Racer 2, and a copy of High Speed Pinball, which is a
Did you say
NES
Rad
game.
Racer 2?
Rad Racer 2, yes.
That is officially one of the best racing games I've ever played.
Congratulations.
It is fantastic.
And then I also, as I said, the last one I got was a copy of High Speed Pinball 2, which is actually a Rare game, believe it or not. Published in, I think, 91?
Is it Rare for good reasons or Rare for bad reasons?
No, Rare as in the company Rare.
Guys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Guys.
Rare as in the company Rare. What?
Guys.
What chocolate?
The stream's dead, so hang on a minute.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
I think
I got something to tell us about.
China's never happy.
Didn't you hear me?
Well, try harder.
But yeah, no, I was pretty happy to pick up Boy and His Blob. I saw it at the GameStop, and I was just like, yeah, I'm getting that.
Boy and His Blob.
Because it was like $4.50.
It's the happiest, most feel good, most like.
It has a hug button.
It's lovely.
Come on.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I know. I remember.
Describe games as lovely.
Okay,
I know. I remember this was your game of the year for the Wii back in the first VGZ Awards.
For like 10 minutes, just hugging Blob, and we all just kept going, "Aww."
Yeah, you just want one.
But anywho, so that's what I picked up this week. I'm actually planning on going to this really awesome game store tomorrow. It's called East Starland. I think I've mentioned it on stream before. It's based out in Chantilly, Virginia. It's a big motherfucking warehouse with a lot of used games, which I'm actually... Their prices are okay. Brightside, I showed you them previously. They have a bunch of stuff, like really weird stuff.
Oh, yeah, don't forget to grab me one of those.
I know, I'll grab you that. Yeah. And tonight, because I didn't get to say this earlier, I'm drinking once again a Magic Hat No. 9's Not Quite Pale Ale, which is a fantastic beer if you haven't had it already.
I'm drinking... I got a Coke.
Okay.
I have a Capri Sun.
I got booze.
Capri Sun. Which side did you pop open? Did you slam it in the bottom like you're supposed to?
No, I actually went through the top, but I went through the entire thing. So
Are you a big ass black dude on a scooter?
Yeah, did you grow a scooter and you fucking
Okay, anywho. Noises. Let's move on.
Say Coke.
Yeah,
no.
let's move on. So this week, let's move on to our normally scheduled program, and that is, of course, talking about the releases coming out this week. This week is once again a very late release week for those of you who are paying attention. It is the end of the month here, as we do look into June at the end of the month, end of the week. Excuse me. That would be on Saturday, is June 1st. So coming out this week, we have Fuse on the PS3 and Xbox 360.
It's not great.
That's unfortunate considering it's an Insomniac Games program. Grid 2 is also coming out. We'll actually talk about Grid 2 here momentarily.
Grid 2 should be a good little racing game.
Yeah, if you liked the original, I'm sure you'll probably like 2.
Yeah.
Then also coming out as a classic this week on PSN, PS2 classic, if you will, The Warriors is getting its release on Tuesday as well.
Oh, wow.
That is a PS2 classic.
Awesome beat 'em up.
I think it'll be $8.99 though, which is kind of okay. But if you'd like beat 'em ups, yeah, definitely a good pickup.
It might be that and obviously GoldenEye and stuff. It might be the best movie licensed video game.
Considering the movie came out in 78?
I think so. Which, if you guys haven't seen it, The Warriors is a fantastic movie.
It really is.
It is a good
Holy
movie.
crap! I love The Warriors.
Yeah. Also coming out later this week, in the later parts of this week with the normal Nintendo download, we do have Mega Man X being released for the Wii U, for the Wii U Virtual Console, which adds another good game to the Wii U Virtual Console. Not to give too much props to Nintendo, but they have been hitting on all cylinders, it seems, with the Virtual Console releases.
Oh, also, I think it's until June 11th. Super Metroid is just 30 cents on the Virtual Console.
Yes, yeah. If you haven't already picked that up, which if you have a Wii U and you haven't already picked that up, you're an idiot.
To be honest, if you have a Wii U and you haven't been buying whatever their
30-cent ones are, you're pretty stupid.
They've been doing a lot of 30-cent games. really
Yeah.
cool too.
Also, yeah, Denpa Man 2 is coming out for the 3DS, also in the Nintendo download, as well as The Legend of Zelda Oracle Seasons and Oracle of Ages, which is, if I recall correctly, going to be $7.99, but only for the week.
$4.99.
Or $4.99, excuse me. That's right. It's going to be only $4.99 for the week after its release, so make sure you pick that up immediately if you are planning on picking that up at some point.
Don't forget to
also
put
coming
them because the link thing still works because it's just a password.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, at the final end of the week, and these releases on Friday, apparently, Leisure Suit Larry Reloaded, which is
how is that still going?
It is a...
No, it's a
It's
remake
a good question.
of the original, Zed.
Yeah, it's actually a remake of the original game.
Yeah, this isn't like
What did they think? Okay, people like Monkey Island and they like the remakes of that, so we'll remake our incredibly popular franchise that everybody loved.
It was actually it's actually a Kickstarter.
Oh my
It was
God.
a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
It was a Kickstarter that was successful.
Also, on Friday is a new Android game by Games by Zed.
Wow.
Awesome.
Smooth.
Good.
Where's
Smooth
the
move there.
Game by Zed.
Exquisite.
Also coming.
Game by
Also, Games by Zed. Also coming out apparently on May 31st as well is Painkiller Hell and Damnation, which is both a sequel and remake to the original Painkiller by my favorite Polish developer. It just is.
It's a remake plus a bunch of extra shit.
Yeah, basically.
Like afterwards.
Which the original game was made by my favorite Polish developer of all time, the Farm 51.
That's a big list.
There are basically none of them. That's why I said that.
Two of them?
Yes. Did you know that they actually outsourced the original The Witcher, right?
All right.
Just saying. And
CD Projekt was Polish.
yeah, they are. And also, People Can Fly.
Okay.
Who helped develop it as well. That is the other PC developer, other Polish developer.
I thought you were just announcing Fly.
Shut up. Anywho, looking forward to next month. Is nothing really. So, actually, there's a lot, but we'll cover that in next week's podcast.
Month of June.
Yeah, next month is June.
Maybe 4 games by Zed releasing on Android.
Oh boys!
More games by Zed, you say?
Games by Zed, you say?
Where can I
Anywho,
games by Zed.
We don't have
games by Zed at online.com.
Actually, if you type your web browser to gamesbyz.co.uk.
Zed, fuck you. Anywho, let's move on. We only have a few news stories to cover this week, so it'll be a quick podcast. It's all good.
Yeah, not a lot happened.
Not a lot has happened this week. So I guess we'll start off where what I was really excited about. That is, of course.
Do you want to hear my one-liner?
Oh yeah, you can give us your one. Wait, what is your one-liner revolved around something in particular?
Like game related? Because no, it's not.
Oh, it's not game related. Go ahead and give us your one-liner there, Bryce.
Okay. So there's a little setup to this. Basically, I was on a subreddit.
It's not a one-liner, then, is it?
Shut up. Okay, so I was on this subreddit called Today I Learned. It just gives random facts, most of them useless. Well, it told a story of a guy who was in a terrible car accident and actually was cut in half, but lived.
This is uplifting.
No, hold on. He has a morbid sense of humor anyway. So he opened up a discount grocery store called Half Man, Half Price. That's not the one-liner. In the comments of that Today I Learned, the first person asked, "How does he poop?" The next comment was the greatest one-liner ever, with a semicolon. I laughed for 20 minutes and almost blacked out at that one-liner.
I'm just gonna. Oh! It took me way too long to get that one.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Colostomy bag.
That took me so long to get. I am embarrassed. I am embarrassed right now.
We do have a hairdresser's that's close by, and their title is
Cut the bow. Is it not a cut above? Because you know,
it's curl up and die.
Oh, that's good. That's fantastic. All right, let's move on. Because I want to be able to cover these these couple of news stories. That's all I want to cover.
Because nothing happened.
Yeah, because nothing really happened.
No.
So, Grand Theft Auto 5's collector's editions were detailed in price this week. I'm pretty excited. I enjoyed greatly the Grand Theft Auto 4 collector's edition. If you all remember, that had a lockbox and a cool little art book and such. The Grand Theft Auto 5 collector's edition is going to have not only a blueprint map, which apparently is of pretty stellar quality, it is going to have a security deposit bag with a key with the branding on it, as well as a Los Santos New Era hat on some nice, neat little box. Comes with a steel case, of course, like every other special edition has ever come with, and a bunch of in-game special boosts and shit.
That's less cool.
Yeah, that part's not so cool, but the physical stuff is awesome, and I'm really excited for it. I've been really excited for the game in general, so you know, to see all that sort of stuff for me was very cool. So I'm excited about that. You know, it's a really cool collector's edition. I can't wait for the game. I know not a lot of us are in that mindset. I know some people think that it's going to be shit because of, you know, their opinions.
Who would think that?
Well,
that's another thing that comes in the collector's edition. You get classic characters, like
I forgot.
skins. So,
yeah, CJ, skin of CJ.
I think like Claude from 3 and Tommy Vercetti.
Yeah, it's CJ from San Andreas, the original. So I'm really excited about that because it's one of my favorite game series. I know not a lot of people in here are big fans of 4. But I really enjoyed 4, and I can't wait for 5. All the videos I've seen. Well, okay, fine. Anyways, looks really interesting.
I'm backing you up. I'm saying it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
I really enjoyed 4. Anywho, so that's cool. And then on the news of collector's editions, one coming out from the other side of the pond, more specifically Zed's side of the pond.
It's not Games by Zed. This is not a thing that I did.
No, this is not a Zed's thing.
Are you talking about the new hit developer, Games by Zed?
No. No. Anywho,
I too have heard good things about Games by Zed.
Yes, I have heard great things about Games by Zed. I'm wondering if his games will be by Zed. Anyway, anyways, Grid 2, as we were talking about earlier, is coming out this week. Also coming out this week is the special Grid 2 Bachmano edition. It is first off, it is a 125,000 British pound game.
Yes.
Which is 188,700 US for those of you who actually care about, you know, real money.
It must be
and
real
it comes.
because there's more of it.
Yes, exactly. It comes with. Now hold on to your seats, folks. It comes with.
Do this in like ascending order of things you get.
It comes with. I'm gonna go with descending order. It comes with, of course, the game, a copy of the game, a PlayStation 3 on which to play it, which is great. A racing suit and helmet, which makes sense. It's a racing game. And then finally, a fucking car.
All free with the game.
All free with the game. You just gotta spend 125,000 British pounds for the game. The car is
on the cover of the game.
Yes, it is called the BAC Mono. It's a most people will call it a track car because it's a one-seater. You basically go take it out on a track day. If you've ever seen Top Gear, they've reviewed a few cars similar to it. Sort of a one particular use car that you can use on a racetrack, really only. It's street legal, but you wouldn't want to drive it on the street.
So
here's a better question.
So I
Here's a
can't
better question.
pick up hot bitches with it?
You wouldn't know where to put the hot bitches.
Yeah.
The awesome thing is...
Here's a better question. With the car as it is, can I plug my PlayStation 3 into it and play Grid 2 as I'm driving my expensive new toy?
No, you cannot.
That may not be safe.
Then you've lost me as a purchaser.
Fair enough. Now, one of the other things that is also you also get with this is a day at the factory, which includes a factory tour, time spent with technicians to custom the BAC Mono for your size and specifications. And
so if you're
you get a limited edition. There is and the crazy thing is that the art on the cover is actually specific to this version. So there will be one version of it, which means that nobody in the UK will ever be able to own a full, complete PS3 collection.
In the world, really?
In the world, well, a PAL PS3 collection.
Yeah.
Because unless the one person who buys it happens to be a collector. I
trades the game into GameStop because all they do is the car.
Just bring
the fucking car.
Just trade the whole thing in.
Yeah.
Just be like, pull up outside. Like, how much can I get for all this? And they're like, well, we'll give you like $25.
Yeah.
The best
$25.
Store credit.
And that's with the 20%. That's with the 20% added value coupon. Also, it's pre-order exclusively with Game in the UK, and it the shipping is free.
Love is when someone does pre-order it, they go on record as like being the only person that has pre-ordered it, and then Game shuts down, and like there's this big fiasco about him getting his money back or his car.
Yeah, either or.
Sorry, we can't fulfill that pre-order.
With normal pre-orders, you don't have to give money when you make the pre-order. So I could walk into Game tomorrow and say I want to pre-order that, and it wouldn't cost me anything.
It wouldn't cost you a thing.
Then they'd have
Do you want the part number?
Get a car and keep it under the desk. Or
Said
something.
You should go in there and pre-order 2. Go pre-order 2 of them.
They only are making. They're only making one of them.
They're the tallest top hat imaginable when you go in.
No, but that's the thing. They're only making one. Go pre-order 2, and then raise the biggest bust that you can that you want to pre-order.
And then leave the store when you can't do it. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, and then if they finally do it, if they actually do it for you, wait a week and then call and cancel.
No, it'd be great. I'll just be like, well, fine, I'll go to HMV instead, and I'll tell them that I want a car.
Yeah, there you go. That's brilliant. I'm sure that'll work. All right, moving on. As I do still have 3 news stories to cover. Zed is happy about this one, but Nintendo has given a heads up talking about their press conference, their E3 press conference. Well, not their. Well, it is their E3. Let's just, for all intents and purposes, it is the Nintendo press conference. This is their Nintendo Direct before E3, which is apparently going to showcase the new Smash Brothers, a 3D Mario game of some variety, a Mario Kart game of some variety, and other Wii U titles.
Including, I think, this isn't confirmed, but you know that X game by the Monolith Soft people?
Sure.
No.
Yes,
apparently that is going to be on there.
I know what you're talking about. It's okay.
That's
I
cool.
also heard rumors there might be a new Mario game there. I don't
know.
that
already.
There also was a rumor, and this was something that I kind of went, yeah, okay. I don't know if anybody else saw this, but Amazon UK very briefly had a posting for a Wii U Earthbound. Now, people would say that it was probably just a virtual console, but apparently when it first popped up, it was list priced at $44.99, or it was $44.99 British pounds.
Can I let my gas go?
Yeah, you can let the gas go. I mean, I don't think that Nintendo is going to all of a sudden release an Earthbound. I will literally probably shit my pants if it happens. But
that's not funny. That happens to people.
Sorry, chocolate.
Yeah, but not the part where Earthbound comes out, which is the part.
Yeah,
that does happen.
Just the part where people shit their pants. Yeah, exactly. But anyways, so I saw that and I went, "Huh, that's funny." I won't see that happening. If that does happen, you turn up, I will send you pictures if you really want to see them.
Of you shitting your pants?
Yes. I know, Falcon. I know that a toy never said never again. I'm thinking it could be like a pack, like a Mother 1 plus 2 plus 3 pack.
Collection, like Mother, Earthbound, and Mother 3.
Like a retail version of the Virtual Console releases?
Yeah, something like that. Try to milk as much money out of because they know because Nintendo knows that the Earthbound fanboys will buy it if they make it.
Yes, they will.
And they'll even. It's free money. It's free fucking money for Nintendo.
And I mean, they're rolling out. This Nintendo Direct is going to be like, here's all the games you bought a Wii U for in the first place.
Yes,
So
finally.
give us money now.
Yeah. Now, that being said, the one thing I did read an article about this, and it actually brought up a good point. I know, Zed, you're going to be all up in arms about me bringing this up, but we're going to talk about it momentarily. I think the one thing, and I figured it out, the one issue that the Wii U really has, and I'm not saying it as a, like, not having games or anything along those lines, the one issue it really does have is that it is still a custom architecture, whereas... you know, Sony's new offering is, you know, is a x86 offering.
I'm not going to be all up in arms about that, because I think the Wii U's got a load of issues.
Okay, fair enough, as long as you're willing to admit it. Anywho, let's move on.
If it's difficult to develop for, then obviously you're going to get...
It's going to be difficult to port for and develop for, yeah.
But I think to me, personally, their biggest issue at the moment is that not a lot of people know that the Wii U is a new thing. Like, they're sort of...
Really?
Previous casual audience that they sold 50
they're all
million
like,
pieces
oh, that's the
doesn't
Wii,
have
I
a
have
clue. I think that's the bigger problem for them.
Okay. I don't know if I necessarily think that's the case, but I'll give it to you.
I mean, they think it's a problem. Did you see that thing they sent out on the Wii message board?
I know they did that. They think Nintendo thinks it's a problem. I understand that. I don't know if they have any basis to think it's a problem. I think they just are trying to figure out why it isn't selling, why it isn't printing money like the Wii is, and I think a lot of people have actually been asking those questions. Because the Wii was so successful and the Wii U has not been.
Thing is, though, the Wii was an anomaly.
Not necessarily. Nintendo's had leading consoles before.
You look at the GameCube, the N64.
Right.
All right.
If you look at their last two, if you look two consoles before, you see Nintendo failing, but then you would think, okay, well, the next two consoles Nintendo makes then should be pretty good, because you think, well, the NES and the SNES were ridiculously good sellers.
That's another thing. I mean, people got that the Super Nintendo was a new thing.
Yeah,
like it didn't really look that different.
It was super
as a console,
right? Yeah, I agree.
16 fucking bits.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
16 whole bits.
16 whole bits.
But no blast processing.
No, that was its failing ultimately.
But it had mode 7. It didn't need your.
It did have mode 7.
No, it needed blast processing. Come on now, everybody knows that blast processing was a big deal.
Hey,
anywho,
hey man, play it loud.
Yeah, moving on. And I think, we'll see. When E3 comes along, I think it'll prove a lot, and we'll kind of go from there. I do have this feeling, though, that the Wii U is going to be a 5-year lifespan as opposed to a 10-year lifespan.
I don't know. As long as Nintendo can lead with the games, and now they're going to stop faffing about and just get the games out.
Yeah, maybe.
They're in a pretty good position.
It can't be all Nintendo making games, though. It really can't.
It was before. The GameCube survived like that.
Yeah, but the times
N64.
were different. Times were different. Significantly different.
But you have to remember that the N64 had some pretty good third-party support, mainly from Rareware.
Rare were a second party. Like Rare were owned by Nintendo.
Right, but the thing is that even Nintendo doesn't even have a second party at the moment.
They've got Retro.
Yeah, but what was the last game Retro made?
Donkey Kong Country Returns that just came out on 3DS.
Okay, but for the Wii U.
Retro, I don't think actually was.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Big assault of games here.
Okay, well that's fine, but they need to.
Well,
there's some serious issues happening.
Direct's all about,
Okay. Well, we'll see. I'm curious to see.
Iwata having an adorable accent.
I'm hoping for I'm hoping. Nice. I really am hoping for something good out of that. I'm not because I own a Wii U, so I'm just as concerned as you are when it comes to getting games for it and stuff.
Oh, yeah, just to say, the 3DS version of Donkey Kong Country Returns wasn't Retro, but it was Monster Games.
I don't know who they are. What do they do?
I don't know.
Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D.
Yeah, obviously.
That may actually be a legitimate answer.
That may be a legitimate answer.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
They brought
okay,
up
so
Donkey
there you
Kong
go.
Country without Waggling. That's pretty cool.
I'd say that makes them 1-for-1.
Does this make them 1-for-1? Congratulations. Anywho,
you made it.
100% success rate.
Yes. All right, let's move on. I have two more news stories. One is Well, I guess it's a conglomerate of news stories, as we have the EA fuck-ups from this week. Well, not necessarily fuck-ups. It's... Yeah, we do need theme music for this section. There's a lot of everything with this, right? So, first off, EA came out and, speaking at a technology conference earlier this week in New York, the CFO of the company said that the EA plans to publish games on the current generation of consoles through at least 2017. Which would put them at exactly a 10-year lifespan, just like they have in previous iterations of consoles. Now, that is a little surprising, considering, at least that's obviously they're expecting to publish. They may publish longer than that. Not too surprising, I guess, in that respect. I guess I'm a little more surprised at the fact that they did actually say through 2017, where they were publishing games for the PS2, I think 13 to 14 years after the current generation came through, and that would put them at about 10.
The last PS2.
No, they've made they made a FIFA 13 for the PS2, sir.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Yes, they really did.
I think maybe Madden 13.
I think Madden 13 almost did come out for the PS2. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean they published for a very long period of time.
But I mean that's kind of the level that we're not talking like they're going to port Battlefield 4 or whatever.
No. They're talking
half-assed yearly updates.
Mostly it's half-assed yearly updates. I mean, they do publish a few things here and there, but it's mostly that, yeah. Anywho, so that is the EA part of the EA news this week. Also this week from EA, it was mentioned that in apparently an interview that they prior to what we've talked about on previous podcasts, they actually are developing games for the Wii U, but they just have nothing to share at this time. Zed, your thoughts?
Who cares? Who bought a Wii U for EA games?
I did.
No, you didn't.
Don't you see me playing one right now?
No.
No.
No, I don't actually.
No, I just see you not being able to jump in Metroid Prime.
Do you know where the fuck I'm supposed to go right now? I don't know.
Over there.
I don't know.
I don't remember. I always just...
I turned off the map thingy because I thought it was annoying that it was trying to hold hands too much, and now I'm just like, where the fuck?
Yeah, and this is
what
what
upgrade
happens.
X, and I don't know where to go to get upgrade Y, and it's pissing me off. Carry on.
The thing is, with EA games on, Nintendo consoles, really, they're always bought by people whose parents haven't bought them what you would call, I guess, a main console. Like the sort of poor unfortunates for whom the Wii is their primary console.
Right.
Like, they're the ones that get stuck with that. You remember when they did that really shitty FIFA 12?
Yeah.
Like, basically, they get stuck with that. And that's what EA support means on Nintendo consoles. So, honestly, who cares?
Well, honestly, they did the same thing with the Vita. I mean, they released FIFA 13, and it was basically the same thing as FIFA Soccer, which was released for the Vita, which is basically FIFA 12. It was literally the same game with a roster change.
They don't put any effort in, so I mean,
no, they really
I don't know. The really tragic part is they keep talking like they're really important to the success of the Wii U, and then like the gaming press will go, "Oh, they're really important to the success of the Wii U," and they're really not.
Yeah, I think people are overstating their need to be on the Wii U, but there is something to be said that it is one third party. You know what I mean?
It's a really big one, and like obviously Activision are the other big one, but they seem to be sort of supporting it a bit.
The new Call of Duty isn't going to be on the Wii.
Is it not?
No, they've already announced they're not putting the new Call of Duty on the Wii U.
Is that after the amazing performance of Survival Instinct?
I think so.
You base your metrics on that. Well done, Activision.
Yeah, that's basically, I'm pretty sure, probably what they actually based it on. Anyways, so that is the EA news from this week, I think. I don't think I'm missing anything, am I?
Wait.
I guess I didn't miss anything. Moving on.
Fuck up this week? I wasn't really paying complete attention, but it didn't
EA didn't
too crazy.
They kept trying to not fuck up, but really that just makes you think about how fucked up they are.
I think I might have something, but I'll think about it for a little bit, and I'll get back to you maybe after one of our next sections.
It doesn't become just a EA News Corner.
Hold on, let me just check what has EA done now.com.
No, actually, I do have something, but I'm going to hold off a little bit on it. We'll talk about it in a couple of minutes.
To be fair, the only post, the most recent post on what has EA done now.com, which is a legitimate website, by the way, which is basically this segment in website form, is from May the 15th, when they dumped online passes. So I mean, they're keeping pretty quiet.
Yeah, they are keeping pretty quiet. I do have one. Once again, I do have one, but we'll talk about it in a few minutes.
I like to
Moving on.
EA is like an anthropomorphic person with like the EA emblem as a head, and they're just standing in this clearing, surrounded by traps. And then they're just like, all right, just don't do anything. And that's the moment we're at right now.
You know that scene in The Simpsons when Sideshow Bob just keeps walking onto all those rakes?
Yes.
That's EA.
That's EA. Somebody should make that video and put it on YouTube.
Somebody needs to just Photoshop EA over Sideshow Bob's face. And like leave in the sound too, because that grumble that he makes is the best thing ever.
Yes. Somebody make that.
Get on it.
Anywho, the big news this week, which I think we'll talk about this. Microsoft, right? They came out.
Microsoft.
They came out this week, and they have said that they want to sell another 25 million Xbox 360s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, I think that was the only. I mean, that's I think that's pretty funny. I mean, they are saying that apparently they're going to put new price points. I don't know why they'd do that.
10 British pounds.
10. Well, I guess you could buy 10 of them then.
And all the games.
Yeah.
That is the only way they would sell 25 million more.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
unless they're doing that thing that Sony did. You know when, like, 10 years after the PS2 came out, the PS2 officially was released in, like, middle of buttfuck nowhere.
Brazil.
Maybe the 360 is finally getting to the point where it can be released in the middle of buttfuck nowhere.
Brazil.
Whatever.
No, well, don't you remember the PS2 finally coming out in Brazil? We actually had that as a podcast topic back in 2010, I think it was. Yeah, it cost $500 US, basically. I thought that was pretty funny.
So maybe that's what they're going
maybe
areas where they're not even on sale.
Zed, you're ignoring a very, very important thing. PS2 had games worth playing on it.
Oh,
you 60.
You're doing the thing.
And if they're releasing FIFA in Brazil,
it's gonna sell a million billion.
Yeah, it's sell billion. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, until they realize they have to pay to play online, then they'll just get rid of them and go back to their PS3s.
Probably.
They don't have a PS3 yet.
Yeah, really.
Then they'll wait.
Wait.
They're not gonna. They have the option for
I live in the first world.
People in Brazil right now are watching trailers on MySpace for Heavenly Sword. That's what they're doing.
I don't think even Brazil still has MySpace.
I don't know if you're actually joking or not, because that's legitimate enough to be real.
That sounds like the start of some like dystopian horror movie.
I'm sorry, what?
On their 56K, they are watching. They're watching like some sort of. They're watching an embedded, what is it? Not on WMV, like
WMA.
Real player.
Real media.
Video thing.
And a couple of them are wondering why they're not getting new games for their Dreamcast anymore.
You need to install Real Player to play this video.
That's it, Real Player.
And they're trying to move their Bonzi buddy out of the way.
They're watching embedded Real Player trailers of Heavenly Sword while trying to not get eaten by a python.
Yeah, exactly. That is Brazil.
And also getting ready to host the Olympics. I mean, we should probably point out that they're not actually a third world country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they might not be hosting the Olympics.
Oh, might they not? Really? Has something happened?
Well, they're not meeting their deadlines.
I guess somebody went and visited Brazil and was just like, yeah,
okay. they're not meeting key.
They're not meeting
key deadlines.
Brazil.
Just all of Brazil.
Implying anyone in Brazil can afford pencil and paper.
And a stamp.
Wow.
There.
Wow. All right.
You're VGZ. Please, fuck off.
Yeah, basically. All right. Well, I think that's all the news we had this week.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I don't think there's any news stories or anything.
Oh, I think we've covered everything.
Cool. Yeah. That's good. I like early podcasts sometimes.
Yeah. there may be some kind of announcement. I'm not entirely sure. But let me go
hello,
check
VGZ CEO. I did not see you there. We hang on. The more I think about this, the more we need like a sock puppet.
Yeah, we need sock puppets for the sequence.
I support sock puppets.
Fair enough.
You're gonna have to make.
You can't say that in that voice. You have to say it in your right voice.
Do you guys know why they call it the Xbox One?
Oh, you said it.
Because
you said it. Tea time. Tea time. No. Tea time. No. Tea time's gone. Bye, tea time.
Oh, tea time has been sucked into an endless void of death.
I don't know what happened. Finish your drink. All right. Let me re-add.
Contributed all he will.
Can we become Pee-wee?
All right, so let me re-add tea time.
We'd probably better do this.
We should have a rational discussion about all this.
Yes. Okay.
Rational.
I can't even like fakely agree with you guys.
Okay. Let's lay out all the basic stuff, and then we can conversate about it. Is that good?
And by conversate, he means I'm gonna do my thing.
I'm gonna just before we get into all this, because it's gonna be a bloodbath, I'd like to leave with a positive. They did say at E3 there's gonna be a shit ton of games.
Yes. Oh, and let's lead off with a disclaimer. Because I think a disclaimer is probably a good idea here. If you are actually looking forward to the Xbox One, I would suggest shutting off the podcast at this point. Because there is probably going to be stuff thrown. I don't think there's much.
I think we will all try really hard to stay objective about it, but yeah, fair warning.
Fair warning.
Not much to be objectively positive about.
Yeah.
Yes.
The games are coming.
I want to know.
Rare apparently is resurrecting one of their old IPs.
Yeah, but it's not Rare anymore. See, this is why it's possible to
that'll be cool.
Banjo got a plane.
No,
now that we've
sports. No, look, moving on.
Moving on.
I want chat to understand that the entire week from the announcement up until now has been like Christmas for me. Every single day, it is the gift that keeps on giving. And I was actually worried at one point before the announcement of the Xbox One. I think I was talking to Dispenser. I was like, I'm kind of worried. What if Microsoft actually has a good showing? I won't have enough material to make a competent section for stupid CEO. And then after I watched it, I texted her. I was like, I don't know what to do with all this stuff. I've got like 3 weeks worth of podcasts now. What am I going to do? At one point, I had to make a trip to Walmart this week to buy more notebooks. I ran out of paper to write this shit down with.
Okay, so fair warning. Some of the stuff is rumor and speculation still because they did not clear everything up on their talk as we talked about. And once again, very big warning, we are probably going to be kind of raw towards the Xbox One.
So that we look a little bit balanced, we should reiterate, they said games are coming, and I'm sure we can all agree, we want to see what the games are. We're all quite interested in at least what those are when we get to E3.
It's a shame Deadpool's not here, because we need a...
Why do you think Deadpool's not here?
We need an Xbox guy to keep us
okay.
We're
now that we've now that we've gotten that out of the way, here we go. Okay. Microsoft is releasing a Betamax player.
Good start.
There, I said it. No, actually, I sat here watching. So I sat watching this stream, and this is a first impression thing. I sat watching the stream, and I'm pretty sure I heard the words TV come out more than games.
There's a compilation video.
There is a compilation video. Yes.
TV achievements.
There is a compilation video.
It hurts.
I want you all to know that the entire time I watched the stream, and I sat down and watched it before I went to work. I had to work that day. Okay, I sat down and watched it. I was like, I've got to see it. I've got to see this. I have to see what Microsoft is selling me now. I laughed for the full solid hour, just cackling like some kind of mad woodsman. It was glorious.
So I saw this.
Oh, and if you haven't yet seen the video, when you do get round to watching it, here's an interesting thing for you to do. And I've done this. I've verified it. It's true. There are points in the conference where people like applaud raucously.
Yes.
Look at the crowd. The crowd that you can see. None of them are moving.
Yeah, apparently
it's true.
Many Twitter people did actually say that it was apparently Xbox team people that were standing in the back of the room clapping wildly.
Like hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to make it sound like people were any form of approving of what they were saying.
Yeah. Now, so I have now come to the realization that as it stands right now, Microsoft is not selling a games console anymore. They are selling an entertainment console.
Yeah. That's
they want to revamp. There's the word. Everybody take a drink.
Drink a drink.
Which, to be fair, they did say that. They did say that, you know, this is a full entertainment. They didn't try to shill it off as just a games console, but by the way, we put games by the wayside. They did actually say, okay, this is thus the name, all-in-one entertainment. They were very forward with that. They were not trying to disguise it as anything else. That being said, it is easily the dumbest fucking thing I think I've ever seen in my life. And for people that are saying that it's like a VCR or a Betamax player, remember, VCRs and Betamax players play used cassettes, okay? So they already have one up.
You smart ass.
And interestingly about both of those technologies, they're not used anymore.
Yes, for various reasons. Now, things we do know.
The first stumbling block really is that you need a TV to use the Xbox One to do all the things that your TV already does.
Well, you need a cable box, you mean?
Yeah.
You need a cable box.
This is a console just for America.
Yeah, this is obviously an American-designed console. Now, there's things we know. We know that the new controller looks interesting.
Quite good, actually.
It looks all right. It has the weird thing. It has force feedback in the triggers.
Oh,
that might be cool.
It might be cool. It might also be absolutely absurd.
If we know that's the point.
That's something that's weird enough that it's like I have to try that before I can actually say if that's weird or not.
Yes.
They have like simulated trigger pull where there's like a clean brake and everything.
No,
I'm gonna jizz everywhere.
It's not going to give you resistance. It's not going to give you resistance.
Fluid loss.
Rook, it's not going to give you resistance. It's just a regular trigger.
Semen works. It's not just all the fluid in your body coming out of your penis.
I don't think you understand how much I like simulation.
Fair enough. Apparently not.
No one does. Apparently
cool. Yeah. That's cool though, really, genuinely cool. But
what else? Okay, what else we know? We know that there is the new version of the Kinect. It is newer, fancier, more
better,
quote unquote.
More Kinecty.
But the console will not.
Do you like 1984? Man, do I have a product for you.
Where's the CEO voice?
During the Sony conference when they were talking about that new Infamous game, and they said, what about if we lived in a world where like your every action was monitored? And it's like, oh look, Microsoft. Seriously.
Yes.
Also, now CEO voice is going to be after we cover all the basics.
All right, sounds good.
Know exactly what I'm talking about.
Fair enough. All right, so bad news with the new Kinect. Needs to be connected to the console at all times, otherwise the Xbox will not function. Period.
It's watching.
It will be watching. Seriously.
Watching and listening.
It will be watching and listening even when your console is not on.
Couple that with the fact that it's never switched off. It is not. It doesn't unless you pull the power. It doesn't go off. It is always.
It is not optional.
That's another thing that I've actually heard. I don't know if it's from any kind of credible source.
It's
but
true.
It was.
What's his name?
It was.
The guy
No. This is something else. It was going around recently, and I don't know if it's been debunked that. If there are too many people present, it won't operate.
That's a patent, I think, that they filed.
That's a patent that they have filed. Yeah, that's a patent they have filed.
I didn't know if that was an actual thing that they had implemented yet, or if it was just a patent. But
that's just a patent that they have applied for.
So here's the give and take about the Kinect thing: is for one, they're shipping it with the console.
Yes.
You're automatically getting it, so you don't need to go
You're
and
getting
buy
them.
the peripheral.
No, you do
The
not.
bad news is during this whole demonstration that they're doing, everyone who was watching on their Xbox 360, the live conference, who had their Kinect on, would randomly get logged out because the commands that the demonstrator was giving was interacting with their Kinect. So that's just, it tells you how stupid of a fucking idea that is right on the face of it.
You could just walk into someone's room and go Xbox off and then run away.
Yeah, and
Well,
that's
we don't
so
have voice
pissed.
recognition technology to prevent that, but
Well, no, see, here's the thing, though. No, but here's the thing, right? If you actually visit that person's house and actually play on their 360 and have to set a Kinect profile, it's going to know who it is.
yeah.
It asks you.
It'd be the best way to
identify
troll your
yourself.
friends ever.
Yeah, it has face
Yes.
recognition. When it sees a new face, supposedly it asks you to identify yourself.
Yes, apparently.
Fucking track you.
So, which...
The Kinect needs to be on and everything. Okay, that kind of doesn't make sense at all. But do you need to be within its sight for the actual console to work?
That I don't know. All I know is that it has to be plugged in, otherwise it has to be plugged in, otherwise it's going to be like having the controller disconnected.
Okay, because if true, I feel bad for, like...
Disabled people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but
I feel bad for anybody that buys it.
Or anybody wearing a black t-shirt against a black wall.
Yes. Now, one thing I think since they did increase or continue to keep their focus on the Kinect, I think it is very likely that this will not be selling in Japan again, which is yet another console that Microsoft is releasing that will not sell in another country except for the United States.
No, but you see, the 360 did fantastically well in Europe. But
sure,
because of this new TV thing, like, I don't think they understand how our TV systems work. We don't have...
But that's because
I don't think
Europe is like the
So-
beta version of America.
I don't think they understand that TV just isn't a thing anymore. Like, less and less people in the United States are watching TV.
Especially
They're going to Hulu. They're going to Netflix. They're going to pirated sites to download TV shows. They're not actually watching television. Nielsen numbers have been down lower than in any other time period in history. I mean,
from that point of view, all you're really offering is another device to turn on to watch Netflix.
Yes, that is what they are doing.
Has, like,
Not only that, but because Xbox's proprietary Netflix agreement, you have to have a gold account to watch Netflix on your Xbox. You need to pay to watch Netflix.
Yes.
It hurts.
It's the only one that does it.
Yes, it is the only one, as far as I know, that does it.
That. Why? I can't. I literally can't. Why?
So,
and I mean, they okay, so it's going to switch straight into your HDMI port, I presume.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
you basically...
on and it isn't automatically set to HDMI, you still have to set it to HDMI. Which is not eliminating the problem they said it eliminated in the first place.
So in most cases, at least in the United States right now, if you have an HD cable box, if you turn on the TV, it turns on the cable box, because there are command things you can do over HDMI.
Okay. So maybe
which
fix that up.
Yeah, I think that'll be fine. I don't think there's an issue there. The thing is, though, as I've said, they're going after a dying thing. I don't understand why they're going after this dying stuff. I mean, TV is dying.
They don't
it is going to die.
They can make money off of it.
Yeah,
Traditional TV is dying.
You could go after the
traditional
philanthropic
TV is
angle
dying,
where they don't want it to die, like they're trying to
Sure.
preserve it.
That's okay.
This is the wrong way to do it, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
They're going after a very specific kind of stereotype of family life that just doesn't.
You're making a non-interactive media interactive, and that doesn't work.
Well, they're trying to make it interactive, and we all know how well that did if you look at the CEI.
Have we talked about how they're trying to make it interactive yet?
No, so...
Chivos.
Now, so far, to be fair, that is just a patent.
That is just a patent.
Yes.
That is not a thing yet.
But as we said before the podcast began, it is getting to a point where you could make up any rumor, look at any patent, and you wouldn't be surprised if it came true.
Yes. Now, moving on. Things we know about the Xbox Live network. Gold accounts are probable. Not confirmed, but most likely.
Gamer score carries over.
Gamer score carries over. Purchases of music and movies
arcade games karaoke.
Let Brennan finish. Yeah.
Let me finish. None of your music or movies all of your music and movies will transfer if for some stupid reason you actually bought that.
God help you if you did.
They're going to have 300,000 servers, which in reality is probably going to be about maybe 45,000 with about a shit ton of virtualizations for supporting Xbox Live. Apparently, the system goes, and you have to be online to play it, and we'll talk about that in a second. But apparently, when you're online, there will be some cloud, quote-unquote, cloud thingy that will do computation for things like background lighting and shit. I don't know how they even think that's going to work, but okay.
It is pointing out that this is something very similar to what Sony were talking about. But they seem to present it.
No,
I don't know.
No, that isn't the same thing at all. It isn't the same thing at all.
Cloud stuff.
The thing with Sony's thing is that it's for that's completely different. Said what we're talking about. They're doing computations for game stuff.
Oh, like actual. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like they're actually sending like having instead of having the GPU on the Xbox, which doesn't really make much sense. They're going to send stuff to the cloud. The cloud is going to calculate like where shadows are and shit, and then send it back. Yeah, and then send it back to your console.
So there's going to be lag on your frame rate.
Yeah, all of a sudden out of nowhere, you're going to get this like weird period where shit is going to be different. Better, but different.
We haven't that hasn't been proven yet.
That hasn't been 100% proven yet. That is a purely speculative thing, but that's a really weird concept, and that seems like one of those things that I don't understand why you were doing this in one of those moments.
It's because they have less hardware capability in the actual.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get.
We'll talk about that when we get to the comparison part. Yes. So that is what we know about the Xbox Live service.
Really terrible internet that sounds like cloud stuff. Sounds like a fucking awful idea.
Yeah. So the Midwest is fucked. The Midwest is fucked. Moving on.
Midwest, you don't give video games
from Europe.
Shit sucks.
Yeah, Europe is probably fucked too because of the internet. Anyways,
they don't want your business. Remember?
It seems that way.
Let's see what else. Yeah, there's a rumor that all Xbone, if not all Xbone or Xbone, because that's what we're calling it, the games will have some sort of smart glass component.
Should we make an announcement that we're not saying Xbone to like piss people off, like a derogatory thing?
No, it's literally what the word is.
It's XB1.
Some people have been offended by it, and I just want to say we're not.
No, that's fair.
We're not trying
in the same way that the PlayStation 3 is the PS3, the Xbox One is the Xbone.
Yeah, and the Wii is the Wii. Wii.
Or if you're my nan, they're all the Nintendo.
It's not like saying the gay Station 3.
Yeah, we're not saying the gay Station 3. We're not saying, we're not saying stuff like that.
Okay, Xbone is like it's not even. We
throw that out there.
I might be trying to offend. I don't know yet. It depends on.
But in an official capacity, no, we're not.
We're not in an official capacity. We're just going based off of what it'll most likely be lowered to, or most likely be, what do you call it into? It'll most likely be shortened to on the internet.
I've around my game developer dick waggling thing again, but I do
Games by Zed.
Shit ton.
That's co.uk.
And they all call it the Xbone.
Are they all as quality developers as Games by Zed?
They're not quite as top quality as Games by Zed. Available at gamesbyzed.co.uk.
Yes.
You can't find quality like Games by Zed.
Anyways, moving on.
On the Xbone, Games by Zed.
Yes. Let's see. What else do we know?
Microsoft now hates the indies.
Because they absolutely
basically.
hate us.
So Microsoft has axed backwards compatibility. Not too much of a surprise, but it was kind of a
did that too.
Well, not really. Remember, Sony is doing it the Gaikai way. Microsoft is taking it completely out. And furthermore, Don Matrick, Xbox man, said, if you're backwards compatible, you're really backwards. Whoa! That is a direct quote.
We will file that alongside Ben Kuchera saying if you don't have a constant internet connection, you shouldn't be buying a games console anyway.
Funny story. Yeah. That guy was all over the internet during the broadcast, just spamming "deal with it" all over.
Yeah, Adam Orth was spamming "deal with it," which I was laughing about.
He was feeling some sort of vindicated, which is even more embarrassing than you got fired because you're an asshole.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. Let's move on. Let's see, what else? Oh, pre-owned games. So there's a lot of rumors with this. So nobody really knows because Microsoft has said 6 different things.
I like how it's this big like internal war.
Yeah.
Microsoft, like it's divided up into all these tribes. Like one is headed by the VP of sales, and one is headed by the head of the Twitter account, and one's headed by Major Nelson. It's like these 3 warring
I kind
factions.
of get the feeling that that's happened because one of them has gone, okay, they can't have meant that. What they must have meant was, and then given a much less shit option.
Yeah. So basically, originally when it first happened, everybody was like, "Oh," and Matic apparently in at a question and answer round right after the actual main presentation, with multiple news sources listening, stated that it was going to be a licensed idea. So basically, you buy the game, it is licensed to your Xbox Live account. If you wanted to move that game to another license or another Xbox Live account, aka sell it to a GameStop, it would cost $60, the cost of the game, for the player to pick it up.
So
then later on, I believe Major Nelson said, no, it actually wasn't $60. It was only $35.
Oh,
and
okay.
GameStop, it's only $35 for the license, and GameStop would have to charge a set amount only, and the set amount was determined by Microsoft.
Because GameStops have to be registered with this online thing that Microsoft would set up so that they could actually move the licenses over.
Yes.
So they haven't strong-armed GameStop into not being able to do business. They've just strong-armed them into making
it gets better, though. It gets better, though. Because then it was stated by somebody else that it was really only $15, following all the same rule sets. And then somebody else said it wasn't anything like that, but they are signing an agreement with GameStop to sell it for a set amount and follow all the other rule sets.
And nobody
fucking knows what it is going to be.
I think it's important to mention.
Makes money, I'm okay with it.
It's important to mention here that regardless of who is correct out of all of these, none of it is fucking excusable.
None of it sounds very good.
The worst idea in the history of making games.
Yeah, and you know, I see a lot of people attacking GameStop. They're like, yeah, fuck yeah, now GameStop won't be able to rip people off. Okay, first of all, do you really think Microsoft is going to be the good guy in this battle? Come on now. Let's sit down and think about this for 3 seconds.
It's Microsoft.
Another thing that a lot of people don't understand is when GameStop sells a new game, like a brand new game, we get 10% of that.
Yeah.
So your $60 game, we make $6 off of it. That's why we charge as much as we do, and why we give as little as we do for the trade-ins.
For all the people, you know.
So.
Well, here's the
what
thing
about
that
selling
I've
a used
sort
game?
of. Well, used game is all like cash in the pocket. Like when they sell a used game.
Well, I
mean,
minus whatever we gave for that.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, the profit margins on used games are huge.
Yeah.
Yes,
they are, but that's the only way that we can actually stay in business.
And to be fair, we've talked about this. This has been talked about previously in the podcast. It's one of those things where it's really interesting to see like that GameStop hasn't had to sign some sort of agreement with Microsoft or other companies in the past to sell used games based on an idea of giving them some sort of commission or something along those lines. It's always seemed kind of weird because, you know, it's like, in this day and age, you know, the publishers don't get anything from the second sale. But at the same time, the first sale doctrine, which is a really important thing in the United States, in my opinion, is a really important rule to keep, you know, around. Hearing... Oh, we lost somebody. Who'd we lose? T-Time. We lost T-Time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think the first sale doctrine is a really important thing, especially in this day and age with game prices skyrocketing and what have you. It's just, this is just the wrong way to do it. I mean, that's all there is to it. Now, there was another rumor, although I give this, and once again, there are rumors all over the place. There was another rumor that the games are going to now cost $80 and that the used game price is going to be $60. The fact of the matter is that Nobody knows what it is, but it seems like...
Floppy brings up an interesting point. Like, GameStop may or may not, depending, have this legislation going on between Microsoft and them, but how will it affect small businesses who sell used games?
They're not going to be able to sell. So, unless...
It just kills their form of income?
Well, they might give... So, Microsoft hasn't released any information. They say there's going to be a database. They could conceivably, a company that does sell used games could conceivably get into the database. Maybe it'll be an open database. You know, this is something similar, actually, and this is something I could speak from in a company that does this. You know, my company does the number portability in the United States. So anytime you have a cell phone and you transfer the number, that information goes through our servers. We sort of warden the phone numbers, the cell phone numbers in the United States, right? So if a new provider comes in, they have to talk to us, and we give them access to it for a very, very small fee. It's like there's a fee just to make sure you're a legitimate company. Same sort of process could possibly happen here, considering what they're talking about, but nobody knows. Once again, these are all This is all speculation and rumors because they.
And okay, a little bit of business logic, and hopefully you can follow along, and it doesn't sound too far-fetched, and it's kind of like future predicting, but
sure.
I'm pretty sure this will happen. Now, over here in game, I don't know whether it's the same in GameStop, but if you go into game and you blatantly don't know anything about games, and the staff there are trained to sell you certain things. Now, if I'm running game, and I'm like, okay, well, selling this console really dicks us over because of their used game policy, but this console, which is kind of similar and has the same games, doesn't dick us over on used games, which one are we going to push? And I'm pretty sure the Xbone will just end up getting what I call the Nintendo treatment, and it'll get put on like 2 shelves in the corner, and they'll just push the PS4 in the way that they now push the 360.
Well, it's really going to depend on the deal that GameStop hashes out with Microsoft. Because originally, when this was all rumor, you know, that they're not going to allow used games, you know, and it's all this stuff, GameStop just flat out released a public statement saying, well, if they don't allow us to resell games, which is, you know, most of our money, I mean, that's most of GameStop's money is used game sales. If they don't let us do that, we simply will not stock their product.
I really support that. That's
like it really came down to it. And like when the news came out and, you know, when they did the showing, you know, like I said, I had to work that day. So I and my coworker just kept checking our cell phones because they kept coming out with new information, and all of it was worse than what was being showed at the show.
Right.
So you know, people are asking us about it. They're like, yeah, what have you heard about this? What have you heard about that? And so we had to fire off an email to our district manager because we're like, Microsoft's saying that you're not going to be able to play used games on the new Xbox. What are we supposed to do? And he was like, okay, so here's this thing that GameStop does. You can still do it for the PS4 and for the Xbox One. If you have one of the rewards cards, either the paid one or the free one, we can sign you up for an email newsletter about information. Every time they release new information about the Xbox or the new PlayStation, it sends an email to you. And it tells you, hey, they just announced this. Titles, specs, whatever. He told us, he was like, just tell them you don't know and sign them up for the newsletter. He said, because honestly, I don't know. Nobody knows.
Everything is pretty uncertain right now. That's spooky.
So they were just like, they would just ask us then. They were like, I already can't play used games, and we would just kind of have to shrug. But then that ended up being good policy because literally an hour after we read that, it was like an hour and a half, I went in the back just to like take a breather because it was kind of busy, and I stepped in the back, pulled out my phone to check it, and then they were like, okay, so they backpedaled on that. I was like, well, I'm glad we weren't actually telling people because apparently they don't fucking know.
But like, if I'm running a big
it's
game
such a disaster
company, I'm not going to go for the one, like, even if they do make these concessions and they have to make a deal and all that stuff, I'm not going to want to go for that when I can just sell the PS4.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, like, you can just do what you always do, and, like, everybody's happy with it.
With all the, like, Connect thing, always online, this used game bullshit, and the fact that they're probably going to have Xbox Live Gold to be able to play on the internet, didn't take a lot to sell me at this point.
I mean, when Johnny Dudebro walks into GameSpot, stop, and says, "I want the new console to play the new COD on. What do I get?"
PS4.
Like, at the moment, they're going to say, well, 360, because I presume that's what they've been doing the whole time.
You could take a hot dicking, or you could get a PS4.
If they just say, well, PS4, everybody wants a PS4, it's the greatest thing ever. And that's basically the audience that Microsoft is massively in danger of losing, which I think is the one that got them to where the 360 is now.
Well, I don't think they understand how critical, because they're in danger of losing all of their customers, all of their physical customers, unless they plan on going completely digitized. Like, this is going to seriously hamper like 70% of all their game sales, because most people are going in there with like a credit card and picking up an actual physical copy.
Yeah.
Well, now another thing to consider is the simple fact of how much shit we sell for Microsoft. My store sells more 360 stuff than it does PS3. Easily. I mean, just new, used, whatever. At least once a week, I will sell 5 systems themselves. Me, personally. And like, not even me trying to push it on somebody. Someone will literally walk up to the counter, yeah, I want a new Xbox. Like, that's it. So, while you do have the options of Walmart, Best Buy, all your big box retailers, plus you've got the onlines like Amazon, all that, it's just an association. It's an association that everybody thinks of. They're like, hey, who would have the newest Xbox and games? GameStop.
Especially when it comes to Christmas and, Mom's buying for little Jimmy and he wants to play COD.
Fucking Jesus. You ever want to see pure retail hell? You work on fucking Black Friday, or you work fucking Christmas Eve at GameStop. You think it's bad at Walmart. At Walmart, you can just go like hide in the frozen section and nobody's gonna find you there because they'll be like, "Who buys food on Christmas Eve?" No, they're gonna seek your ass out. They're gonna seek your ass out in fucking electronics, and you're doomed.
So Brightside, a follow-up question to that: how many returns on average do you think you get the week after Christmas?
3.
Only 3
maybe.
Returns? But I mean, like you're
like,
you're
do you mean
selling...
overall, or do you mean like Xbox?
I mean overall. Returns of games.
The week after Christmas. Maybe about 10 or so.
Okay, I expected that to be a little higher volume.
Well, a lot of times, we tell people that we obviously extend our return policy throughout Christmas for Christmas presents. Like, it starts in October. Starting in October, if you buy something for Christmas super early and then they don't like it, they already got it, whatever, you can bring it back by like the end of January and you'll still be covered. So we don't get too many returns because a lot of the times we have clueless parents and grandparents coming in. Oh, I don't know, they like this game, but they may already have it. I usually just say, let me make your life a whole lot easier. About how much did you want to spend? $50? Here's a gift card. They will not hate this. Just take it.
Oh, yeah.
Just take it.
There you go.
I thank you on behalf of anybody
that's smart.
with
That's
elderly
you being
relatives.
that's you being good sales associate. But yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah, because they're like, well, I want to get them the new game system. Which one?
Returns off of the holidays are kind of like your Christmas, because no repair cost because the thing hasn't been used, and no loss because it probably hasn't been damaged, and you get to resell it at like perfect condition.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely do that, but we just hate having to do returns because doing returns sucks. Yeah. Especially if they don't know what they want to get in return. If it's I'm
gonna take my hat off because you're handling that in a way that I definitely support. I did not expect that kind of forethought to go into it. So thank you, Brightside, for restoring a little bit of faith in humanity and GameStop workers.
Try to make their experience at GameStop as best as I can because I know how absolutely shitty it is.
But it's basically just going to turn into like, somebody's mom goes in saying, oh, he wants the new card, what do I get? And they're going to go, well, get a PS4. And that's
some stores definitely will, and I know that they'll want me to do that. I usually follow up with, how much do you want to spend?
Oh no,
that's usually a good way to go
here,
about it.
Like, I've witnessed it. Somebody goes in and says, "Oh, I want to get my son or whatever a new console," and like they leave and they've got the 360 and the Kinect and like 6 different games, and it's just like, for fuck's sake, don't you have like a soul?
Well, I actually have a lot of people.
I don't have a soul.
The last day I was at work, somebody was asking me like, "Well, how much is the Kinect?" I'm like, "Okay, well, it's these prices. We have them used for considerably cheaper."
And they do basically the same thing.
Yeah,
they do exactly the same thing.
Well, how do you break a fucking camera?
Oh, magic!
I know how you break a fucking camera, but
yeah, we just show
by screaming at it in too hard of an inarticulate rage.
Yes, there you go. All right.
I guarantee you, Deadpool would be able to do that fairly well.
do it.
I did add Venom to the call. Yeah, I just added Venom to the call.
That's me, Rook.
Yeah, it's.
Anywho,
I mean, so
let's
that's used sales covered.
That's used sales covers. I think that's the majority of Xbox One covered.
One very important thing.
Oh,
go ahead.
What is that, Zed?
It has to be connected to the internet once every 24 hours.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that.
Which to me is really insidious, because they said it's not always on, and then they kept it as close to always on as they could without it actually officially being always on.
Well, it's like, it's not always on, it's just sometimes
just needs to be always on.
Just always.
I saw one joystick commenter say it nicely. It's like, oh, they didn't want it to be always on. They just kind of jumped through a couple hoops just to make sure you're being a good boy and not pirating.
What they did was they looked up the actual definition of always on.
Oh yeah, and
then they thought, right, so how do we subtly change it?
How close do we get to that? How close? How can we get close to it without actually doing it?
I'll quote.
That's Microsoft lawyers at work trying to find a loophole.
I'll quote Futurama. "You are technically right, which is the best kind of right."
That's just what they went with.
Like you can't disagree with us because it's not always on.
Like yeah, technically.
That was everyone's everyone just.
That's what we had a
side.
No, this.
Yeah.
This makes me ponder something in a different way, and it's kind of horrifying. What if their intention is not to convert everyone over to Xbox One? Maybe they still plan on supporting the 360 as long as they can as just an independent gaming console. And
so
you bring up hasn't just been a games console
Rook,
for a long time.
You bring up a good point, Rook, and actually my good friend at work, who I have very lengthy theoretical discussions about this sort of shit. Me and him were waiting for the Microsoft presser like you wouldn't believe, because I get to have a good conversation with him, unlike you jackals.
So we're not.
Anyways, what he basically said to me, and it makes a lot of sense, he doesn't think Microsoft is any longer going after the gamer market. Microsoft is going after the family market. They're going after people who want to get one box, put it in the living room, and hook it up to their TV.
Well, the problem is
that's in and of itself flawed. Because if you want it to connect to the internet, you need cable or you need DSL. So you need to pay for that service. Yeah. Well, and if you want it to have TV, you need a cable box.
Their execution is flawed. Here's the thing: their execution is flawed, but the idea is sound. Because what was the last console that did that? It was the Wii. It was the Wii, and it sold like no one could have imagined because it was a family console. The difference is Nintendo had strong IPs to back it up. They had something innovative.
IPs that haven't already been beaten to hell and back. Call of Duty.
Well, it's kind of weird because, you know...
It's weird saying Nintendo have IPs that haven't been beaten to hell and back.
I know.
Because,
but I mean, like, things that they could... Think about it this way. Motion controls were not as big as a home console thing when the Wii came out.
Well, they tried to shoehorn motion controls into everything, and then like very quickly realized, okay, this isn't like really work.
And they turned it around, which is nice.
Right.
Here's the thing: Nintendo cares about the games they make. You see, here's the difference: they're not just in it for the money. They know that they will make money off of it because these are tried and true IPs. Nobody ever gets tired of Zelda. Nobody ever gets tired of Mario. No one ever gets tired of Metroid. Mostly because they don't really like to make Metroid games.
I really wish it was as clear and as fluffy as all that. Like that would be a really feel-good answer, but the difference is more integral. If you buy a Wii and you don't know how to hook it up to the internet, you can still play the Wii.
That's true.
Yes,
that's right there. Yes,
that's
Same
the
with
thing.
The Wii U.
But see, that just shows Microsoft's poor execution. You see, they were like, oh, well, we want to capture the kind of success that the Wii did. What did the Wii do? The Wii was very family-friendly and family-oriented. It had all these party games that, by and large, are not bad games. Wii Sports was fantastic, and it was just a pack-in demo. And then they had, like, Wii Sports Resort and stuff like that. And then you had your fitness games, like Wii Fit. Wii Fit was great. But you had your core IPs that gave it a strong base for the gamers that would be interested. And granted, they didn't have that many, and most of it was shovelware. It really was. But at the same time, people wanted it because it was simple. The games were simple, and it was just family oriented. So
Actually,
Xbox
on the
said,
topic of this, sorry, well, you just made me think, like, the games that Nintendo supported the Wii with that were actually games were games that you would want to sit in your living room with the rest of your family watching or in the general area, and like they could sort of be there while you play them.
Or
yeah,
play with you.
Who's going to want to sit and play COD in the living room?
You can't.
While
you
like their
literally
76-year-old auntie is
Yeah,
going.
literally, they don't have in-console multiplayer anymore.
And
they phased it out.
My mom actually asked me when I was playing Battlefield 3 one day. She asked me, "Why are you shooting those people?" I mean, as a joke.
Did you answer because they're brown?
Well, think about it. As a joke that may be, if they're trying to go for the family angle, on the first game they show, the first game trailer they show at their conference is Call of Duty.
That actually, it pokes a hole in my theory more than Brightside's, because Brightside is like, you know, maybe the core gamer is part of the family. Mine was like they weren't trying to get the core gamers back and were just trying to get the entertainment package people in. But yeah, like that's
Microsoft or Nintendo?
Microsoft. Like Call of Duty. Yeah.
That's it. See, they know that they can still market it and be like, "Oh yeah, you know, it's going to have the best experience for Madden, Call of Duty, Halo 5, you know, whatever." They know that people are going to still buy it for that. But at the same time, they were like, "Hey, you know, the Wii was marketed more for families, so you can do more for it." Because remember, Wii was like, wasn't Wii one of the first to get Netflix?
Yes, yeah. I believe
yeah. So they were like, hey, Netflix is like, hey, you know, maybe us and the Wii can set up some kind of digital thing. And then maybe we can do, oh, hey, look. This is awesome. People really like it. And I actually had, when that was announced, I had a lot of people coming in being like, yeah, I want to get a Wii for Netflix. And like they wanted a Wii for that. Yeah. And you did have strong IPs for it and all this other stuff. So now Microsoft
should have been like, dude, do you have a computer? All right, do you have an HDMI cord?
Yeah, but my computer.
Okay, here you go.
Well, the thing is, though, Microsoft has seen that, and they were like, okay, you know, the Wii exploded more than anybody thought that it could. Maybe we should make our focus more for the family-oriented and offer them something else besides all these different connections. But they didn't, like, plan it all the way. Like that was literally the end of the plan. We should market it towards families.
Yeah, because then they picked up with the plan. Right, because then they picked up with the plan that, you know, I don't think people have a PC at their television. Maybe we should do a PC that goes connected to their television. I think that's a good idea.
That people want to control their TV with their hands.
Yes.
Yeah, and then like... And be like,
or yelling at their TV.
You know what was a really popular movie? Minority Report. Clearly, people want to actually wave their hands around like some kind of shaman and make things happen on the screen.
Yes, I do. Real talk, if it worked like it did in Minority Report, I would be all for it.
The difference between like the way that the Wii worked and the way that the Xbone they want it to work is that the Wii, with its gimmick, got in and got out. Like, you don't see any Wii U games going, also you can still waggle. Like, they don't make a big deal out of the waggle anymore because everybody's kind of done it now, and they kind of think, okay, well, that was kind of cool for 5 minutes.
The problem with the always online is, a lot of people are actually really unhappy with the Xbox 360. They say it's because of our shit games and, our subpar service and the fact that we make you pay for the online. So you know what? They pirated a lot of things. We've heard these concerns. And so what we're going to do is make it always be online. Or at least
that's how they're going to fix that.
Yeah.
That's how they're going to fix that.
Their concerns, and by that you mean the publishers.
Yeah,
they have fixed the problem.
Yeah. We will prevent you from fixing the problem rather than solving the problem itself.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
That's
which that's the part of it that it's like, okay, you had a thought, it was there, and then you dropped it. You dropped it like...
Ohawk is extremely correct.
At like step 2.
On a multitude of levels, actually, Venom. Ohawk brings up a great point, and I'm gonna air it for the people who are not in chat. About the always online thing. You know who has a problem with being online? Soldiers deployed to other countries. Dude, that is one of the huge things that Xbox has going for it. Like, I've talked to people who have been deployed and are currently deployed, and they're like, man, I love the fact that I can play my games and have a normal life on base in between, operations.
My cousin
It means that those people are just going to keep buying Xbox 360s, though.
Yeah. My cousin was assigned on a submarine for a long time, and I don't know if they fucking play video games or a submarine. Like, if they can do that, or this is like back up when he's at home for what little time he has. It's like, hey, we got games up here or out at sea sometimes, and it's like,
Well, you're not going to get an internet connection down there, are you?
It's really nice, though, as a soldier, I'm told, to have these things available to you.
It's a distraction.
Yeah.
But all right, well, I think we've covered everything with the Xbox One. VGZ CEO, you have anything to add?
I have plenty to add, valued consumer. I'm glad that you have decided to ask me. Now, I know a lot of people are really concerned about all these new games coming out. What with Sony actually announcing some of their brand new launch titles with Killzone 4, more like... Okay, I can't think of a pun, but the Killzone sucks. Whatever. Anyway, and the new Infamous. Which, let me ask, did anybody actually play Infamous?
Yep.
I mean,
I did. I hated it.
Oh, well, whatever. Anyway, all right. So I'm here to announce, to put everyone's fears at rest, within the first year of the Xbox One, we will have 15 exclusive titles, 8 of which are brand new IPs. Yeah, I see you guys are excited about that. So let me show you some of these amazing titles. Here we have NCAA 14, and you will recognize FIFA 14, and the 25th anniversary of Madden, and a new UFC game that absolutely no one asked for. Now I know what you guys are saying, that these aren't exclusives. Well, you're very observant.
Well,
please exit the convention hall. Anyway,
sir, how will we be able to shut up?
Shush. Now, I know what you guys are absolutely dying to see. It's the reason you come to Microsoft. You want to see exclusive footage of the new Call of Duty. Well, you are in luck. First of all, look at this fucking dog. Is that not the best dog you have ever seen? That is a real warhound. Look at that.
I love dogs.
I should read this developer's note. The dog will be day 1 DLC. Okay, now look at this comparison shot of the old engine compared to the new one. By taking the slow panning shot of these greasy forearms. Look at it. Bask in its slightly reflective glory. I can't think of any better way to honor our troops than to show you this hairy arm. Hey, Obama can't ban these guns. Alright.
hell?
So, I'm hearing concern about used games. That you guys actually want to play used games. First of all, what are you, commies? This is America, okay? Red, your hammer and sickle stuff? It's over at Sony. Thank you very much, Ivanov. Alright, anyway. So, basically, what are we doing with used games? What is it? I can't hear. We'll figure that out later. Now, anyway. There's a lot of rumors going around. A lot of unrest about these TV achievements. It's just a patent. We're not implementing anything, but if you're gonna sit around and eat some delicious nacho cheese Doritos and drink some of our life-giving nectar and Mountain Dew, why wouldn't you want to earn a little something for it? Maybe unlock some Avatar awards. What's that first one? Varicose veins? That doesn't sound very marketable. We'll work on that. In a little bit. We'll fix that in post. Anyway, I'm hearing all these concerns. I'm hearing concern about always online. Where do you live? In the woods? Come on now. You're always online all the time. You just may not know it. That was added to the new 360 firmware update, by the way. You're always online. We're watching. We're watching. We see you. So I'm hearing these concerns about maybe the Xbox One spying on you. I can guarantee that we absolutely will not ever do that ever. Okay, did that come through clear? All right. There's no muddled there. Good. Glad. It's fantastic. All right. So, do we have any questions about the Xbox One or our exquisite business plan that in no shape or way has any kind of flaws? You, sir, yes. The one that's muttering quietly that surely has something positive to say about the Xbox One. What would you like to say?
Sir, what about consumer reports saying the Microsoft stock is going down at this very minute?
Do you work for me? Because if you work for me, then you're fired. Okay, now. So, do not comment on rumor or speculation in any way, shape, or form. But seriously, you may very well be fired. Alright, then. I'm not hearing any more negative questions. That's good. Does anybody want to say anything positive?
Really? I love more about the games that you have.
It's more about the games you have.
What about games that we have? Well, I mean, we've already shown our wonderful EA Sports lineup, brought to you by our fantastic overlords at EA. And oh, I nearly forgot to mention. Did I mention the exclusive deal with ESPN that is totally different from the failed deal from last year? No? Well, let me just talk about that. You know how you've always had the trouble of watching TV on your TV like some sort of surf on a medieval plot of land? Well, the Xbox One is here to take away all that frustration of having a cable box.
Awesome.
But you still need a cable subscription.
You still need a cable box, don't you?
Security.
Look, sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Wait, no, I got one more question. What about the hardcore market? The veteran gamers seem to be abandoning this little experiment of yours. What do you have to say to them?
The who? The Nickbeats? What a kid, them?
Oh my gosh.
Oh wait, what? Wait, that's our demo. Wait, we're supposed to sell to those? Alright, well, I've just been advised that is in fact our core demographic. They will be pleased at all of the new interactions between the new version of the Kinect and their favorite games, such as Call of Duty and Madden. They will enjoy a brand new synergy between physical movement in front of the Kinect and responses on their television screen. I have been told that it works perfectly, and that The brand new connection that you see is absolutely flawless, as this totally not pre-recorded Skype call has just shown you. There is in fact a man in a pristine white room answering these questions live, though it may not seem it. Do not be fooled by that. This is all 100% legitimate.
Show him the points. Show him the table that I actually won on. That shit is
My
so weird.
face hurts.
Oh man.
Well, thank you, Mr. CEO.
Thank you, Mr. CEO.
He's never come back ever.
That was incredibly educational.
You are always welcome, valued consumer. I hope to have your business in the future. The future of Microsoft. I need you to go start my car, like right now. And just keep it running. And I need you to go get the suitcase of money, and I need you to put that in the trunk. And if anyone asks if you've seen me, I have passed out in the bathroom, okay? Look, there's $1,000 in it for you if you do this. You're a valet. Just fucking do it.
Oh man, that was lovely. Wow.
Mr. CEO, everybody.
Yeah, it's the VGZ CEO, everybody.
The first and hopefully last appearance of VGZ CEO.
No, that's actually the second.
No.
And he will be back.
Oh god.
E3 is only a few short weeks away.
I can only hope that we have something as magical as a couple of years ago when we had that Wami on troops.
Konami. Was it 2010?
Yeah, the weird and the bad Ubisoft presser, the horrible one.
The fucking luchadors
from 2 years ago.
Yes.
The 2010 Ubisoft.
Wow.
Yeah, when Dunaway came out and she was talking about playing frisbee and like she broke her foot skiing.
Yeah.
You will be sucked.
Oh, so. Oh, Venom. So anyway, I actually do have one thing I did want to add about the Microsoft presser that I think was funny because it was actually completely wrong. Go figure. EA, the dude from EA came out and he was talking about FIFA, right? And he was talking about FIFA 14 and how that FIFA 14 Ultimate Team was going to be exclusive to the Xbox One. I don't know if anybody else caught him saying that.
Probably.
EA then released a press release 2 days later saying that it was on all of their platforms.
Now the funniest thing was after the whole Microsoft show, how they were like, Call of Duty, Madden 25, and all this other stuff, and then like after the show, PS4 or Sony tweeted, yeah, the PS4 is also going to have Madden 25 and Call of Duty.
Did you see that poster that I think somebody mocked up? It was like a PS4 advert that basically said, "We'll also use your TV for playing games."
I actually really loved the Fake Kaz Harai Twitter. I don't know if you were following it during.
Yeah,
I was cracking up so bad. Xbox One? You mean HTC One? His graph showing number of Xboxes, number of PlayStations, and it had PlayStation at 4 and Xbox at 1. And he said, "Look, the numbers don't lie." It's just fantastic.
We didn't actually point out that Sony stock went up during.
Yes, Microsoft stock went down and Sony stock went up.
And then the Wii U
it did
100% sales rise.
It did, but the Sony thing was actually unrelated. Surprisingly, the Sony stock increase was actually related to the fact that there's apparently a rumor that they are going to have a buyout for the entertainment division, which includes the PlayStation. That actually happened at the same time as the Xbox press conference, and that actually was the reason why their price went up $2. Now, this isn't a bad thing. This is actually a good thing. This is this would be just somebody getting a little more ownership in the PlayStation and music and movie division. This isn't like a bad thing, but it was just it happened to be at the same time. Now, at the same time, though, GameStop stock did go down immediately following because of all of the rumors about the used game thing. Also, CEO, VGZ CEO, is it true that your employees were all clapping in the back of the room at the end of the press conference?
He's passed out in the bathroom.
I will not comment on what may or may not be rumored, but if anyone says that, they're a dirty liar and they're not invited back.
They're fired.
They're fired.
If they work for me, they're fired.
Thank you. Oh, man.
But yes, I don't think Metroid was here before, but if you watch it back, anytime there is applause, just look at the crowd that you can actually see. They're not doing a thing.
They're not doing a damn thing, especially in the sequences where they back out and it's like introducing a new person and they bring the camera way back out and you could see like 5 or 6 rows. You can see most of the people are sitting there in front of their computers. They are not clapping.
Yep.
Glazed over,
they've either
look
got
in
their
their eye.
phones out or
Yeah.
I saw one guy looking around like, where's that clapping coming from?
Yeah, I think I saw that a few times during it as well.
You know, I think that was actually mentioned on Joystick's live blog of it. He was like, there's a huge round of applause. I don't know where it's coming from.
I wonder just how many journalists were sat there thinking, well, we blew our entire publication's travel budget on this and now I'm not going to E3.
Yeah, it was funny because there were some instances there where the clapping was completely out of
sync.
Completely out of sync. Like they were clapping at a time.
Clap now? No. Okay, clap now.
Yeah, like that. People were like, "Why are people clapping for this right now? This isn't anything. This is dead air."
Are fucked. Why are you clapping?
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's something you see a lot in wrestling. They will pipe in a crowd reaction for someone, and it's supposed to make you care, but it never, ever, ever works.
Actually does, right? Yeah. So that is actually it for the week. We have gone significantly over our usual time. Tune in next week where, well, nothing happens because we're still on kind of a break. We're in like a 3-break week here, leading up to E3. It is the pre-E3. What's the word? Slump of news, if you will.
I call it funk on the.
We may get funk, slunk, whatever.
Oh, bro.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Funk makes it sound a lot more entertaining than it actually is.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, so I think that's it for this week. Thank you all for watching.
Well, it was a release announcement that I honestly believe will fall by the wayside if I don't mention it now, but it actually doesn't take place until June 25th. Believe it or not, they are actually releasing a whole slew of games for the Neo Geo X.
Yes.
Yes.
A crap ton, like 15 games.
Yes, for that.
Yeah. So you can buy them. Each one has like 3 games and is $15, or you can buy them all in like one pack. That's all 15 games for like $80.
Yeah.
So there's like 3 or 4 games on each card, and there's like
for the 2 of you that own that.
5 or 6 cards.
If
I own one.
If you own a Neo Geo X and you're not buying those cards, you're probably dead. Because there's nothing else you can do really. Anywho.
Yeah, I'm totally buying it though.
Oh, and Yakuza 1 and 2 HD is going to be on the Wii U.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Anywho, we actually talked about that last week. Zed.
Yeah, Zed.
No.
I don't care.
Oh yeah, Venom. You haven't said anything all night. You've been saying stuff here and there, but
yeah.
Oh, you have.
Well, apparently the Counter-Strike Global.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have this week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Venom, for being our favorite person on the podcast.
Was he actually talking about stuff?
I think he actually was. I don't know.
CS:GO, which nothing is really happening with.
There's something interesting that did happen, but we are way over time, and I think it is time to wrap it up. So, I want to thank everybody this evening who has joined us or graced us with their presence, and that includes Tea Time, who actually did sneak out of the conversation, Venom, who I just kicked ever lovingly so, Rook, Chocolate, Zed, and Brightside, and of course myself, Brennan.
And
I appreciate you all listening. And the VGZ CEO.
Who was currently getting high, snorting cocaine off a hooker's stomach in the toilet.
Yes.
No, that was the cover story, so he could drive out of there before anybody caught on that he's not actually shilling anything important.
Oh, good.
Ah, fantastic.
Yeah, that was the cover story lie, so that he could drive out and everybody would be like, "Oh, he's passed out in the bathroom." Okay, we'll go
as
find.
long as hookers is a better cover story than the truth.
And then you hear the squealing of tires as he drives off.
Thank God he's not ODing though.
Thank God.
In his Grid 2 pre-order car.
All right, that's a discussion for another time. Thank you.
Anywho, thank you all for watching this week's VGZ podcast. We will see you all next week where we talk more about stuff.
Also,
have a good night, everybody. Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done for
Happy birthday.
I turned 27 in 11 months.
All right,
congratulations, you're closer to dying.
Bye, guys.
Hooray!
Hooray. Are we off?
Turn off the stream.
Yes, you do.
Well, hang on. I want to get through this room.
So professional.
I'm so very professional. You just watch yourself.
Fair enough. Well, happy birthday, Rook.
All right, I got through the room. I'll hit the button. Okay, we're off.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm eating birthday chicken nuggets and frosting.
365 days, I would assume, or 364 days. I'm sorry.
Something like.
Yeah.
Well, I'm out because it's 4 a.m.
All right, Zed. Have a good night, brother.
Good night.
All right. I'm hang up the call.
All right.
Right.